It's Friday, November 16th. It's about 10:25 in the morning. Mike Christian with Tyler Sexton, and we are here with Stacy Smith. And Stacy, we're just here to talk to you about the party at your friend John's house the other weekend, the 3rd and the 4th, and more specifically, I guess, about the death of Tama Horsford. But if you would, just tell us in general about you being at the party, and then if we have any more pointed questions, we'll go into those.
All right. Well, I was the host of the party.
Okay.
I was throwing it for my girlfriend John for her birthday,
Okay.
and at her house, and I sent the invitations out and told everybody to bring an appetizer, and if you wanted to bring your own drinks and whatever you wanted. And it was a sleepover. That way, no one was going to be drinking and driving, and we thought it was safe. And so we had appetizers, we had snacks, we had drinks. Tam brought this special tequila from Mexico, wanted to share it. I smelt it, and there was just no way that was going down. It was a little too strong for me, so I stuck with my blueberry vodka and Sprite.
Okay.
And that was kind of the way, it went. We had drinks, we talked, we laughed, we danced. Well, some danced. And, they apparently, Tam went outside and they had smoked pot, and then we all, we played Cards to Humanity, we played, I think that was it really, the games. We laughed, we giggled, we were girls.
Yeah.
The guys, my husband came, and Jose was there, and my husband came because earlier that day I had my sister's baby reveal party. Probably know her. She used to work for DFAX, Dianna Galbraith. So
Boy or girl?
It's a boy. And so I had her reveal party, so I was actually kind of tired. So I wasn't quite in the partying mood. So I had probably 4 drinks, and between the hours of probably 6 and 1:30, I did have 2 shots of Fireball too. And we played Cards of Humanity, and we laughed and giggled and laughed. And so my husband wanted to stay with us because he didn't want to stay at the house with Jana's college girlfriends.
Right.
So he said that he was coming to stay with us. So him and Jose stayed in the basement, and then they came up for snacks, and then they started talking to us, and we all hung out, and that was really, really it. It was low key. We said it was probably about 1:30 when we were going to bed, and Tam wanted us to stay up, and I told her I couldn't do it anymore, and she hugged me and told me she loved me, and she was going to go outside and have a smoke and come back in and go to bed. And now Tom and I were sleeping in Emma's bedroom, and she was supposed to sleep in Matthew's.
Where's Emma's bedroom?
Emma's bedroom is upstairs. When you go up the stairs, it's to the left, right there.
That's where you and Tom slept?
That's where Tom and I slept. And then she was supposed to sleep in the room right beside it.
Upstairs? Okay.
And I left my phone downstairs, and because she said Tom was selfish because she didn't have a sleeping buddy.
Right.
So we put our phones there. She said, well, our phones can sleep together. So
I got you.
we laughed and hugged, and she said she was going to smoke, and I went to bed. And then I woke up that morning, and Tam is kind of like the weekend before. She had been at my house, and she had had wine, and I told her not to drive, and I don't know what else you can do. And
Sure.
she shouldn't have drove home, and she did.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was very adamant about her not driving home. And so Tom had told her, do not drive. So when I got up the next morning, I was so proud of her because I saw her phone and I saw her stuff there because I was terrified that she would drive. And
did you ever hear her come upstairs? You said she was going to sleep in the bedroom up there near you guys. But
no, I passed out. I was so tired. I was asleep. And
when you and Tom went to bed, who was still up?
when Tom and I went to bed, I remember her and Bridget and Jean. We were all kind of going to bed, I think, about the same time.
Yeah.
And I know that Marcy and Jen were going to bed downstairs.
Right.
And honestly, I was just trying to get upstairs to go to bed. I never thought
Yeah.
anything would have happened.
Now downstairs, just to kind of correct that, you mean on the main level of the house, not
yes,
the basement?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Of course, you mentioned going out to smoke pot earlier, and we don't care about that. We're not the dope police.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, was anybody else doing that? Or, that being said, do you know, did anyone else at the party smoke cigarettes?
I don't know. I don't know if Marcy smoked. I did take one hit off of it. I did. And then I went back in because it's just not my thing. And then Aunt Modi was out there. And I don't know if Aunt Modi smoked cigarettes or not. So I don't have a clue. I don't know if Marcy did. But I know that her and Marcy were out there for a long time talking, because apparently they'd found out that they had connection back from Florida, and they were all excited about that. That's really...
How much did Tam have to drink?
I don't even know.
Okay.
There's a lot going out of that bottle. I know that I know Marcy took a shot with her. But other than that, I really don't know. And I did make Tam one drink, and I did make her a drink. But she made fun of me because I put Sprite in it.
Yeah.
And I put a little bit of tequila in it, because I was making it the way I would drink it. And I put a little bit of tequila, and I put Sprite in it. And apparently she had been drinking tequila and water.
Okay.
And so she was aggravating me. She was like, "Oh, you make wimpy drinks," so
you don't know anybody else was drinking that tequila bottle other than her?
the only one I know is that Marcy took a shot of it, and all I know is one. All I saw her do was one, and I wasn't really paying attention because I was honestly, at that point I was laughing at Jen.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
What about the previous time when you said that she was drinking wine at your house? Like, how much did she have?
Well, that day we were at the football game, and she had, a lot. She had already had a lot at the football game.
Okay.
And my husband had driven me, so her husband said, "Well, I'll go get some wine." And I was like, I had a rough day. I was like, "Fine, I'll have a glass of wine." So they put it in the cup, and I drank 2 of those little tiny ones. But she had told me how she had had 4, and they had like a bag of those little bottles.
Well, is this like a high school game?
This is a middle school game.
Middle school football?
Yeah.
So she just snuck it in or whatever?
In her cup, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I had some in the little cup too, so I'm not,
No,
I'm guilty too, so, but I don't know exactly how much, but she didn't appear.
Yeah. She had said she had 4 of those little bottles.
Well, I should have 4 of those little bottles before he went to the store and got 4 more.
Got 4 more, okay.
So.
She got 8 though?
So he had 4. Yeah, I don't know if she drank all of it,
Yeah.
but I know that she had a lot, and then I had 4. And then that night, they were going to meet us at dinner at Pizza Zuri. And actually, Jean and Jose were going to meet us, and then they decided to not meet us. And then we went to Pizza Zuri, and I guess she and her husband had an altercation on the way, and she sat him out on 400. And and she met us for dinner.
Yeah.
At Pizza Zuri. And I had 1 glass of wine at Pizza Zuri that night, and she had, I think she only had 1 because she spilled 1. And then I know they gave her a refill. And then I rode in her car and went back to her house because she wanted to check on her kids because Lee wasn't there. Yeah. I guess he had a friend that was a truck driver or something that picked him up. And then we went back to my house, and Tom had met us there with the kids, which is Bridgetown, and I live in Rose Creek. It's pretty close. But anyway, and I had probably maybe 2 glasses of wine at my house, and I think she probably had about the same. And then we went to bed. My husband doesn't drink very much, so he's just sitting there listening to us chit chat. So.
And then she went on home. And when was that?
That was our last football game. So, hold on, I can probably tell you. Let me look at Team Snap. That would have been our last football game. It was this, we had that last football Halloween. Let me look at the calendar. Team snap's already gone. I'm sorry. That had to be, okay, so it was the third, it was the bad night. 27th. That was the 27th.
Saturday, the 27th
Yes.
of October.
Yes. And then on Halloween, we also hung out. And we all went trick-or-treating.
Mhm.
And we had a blast. And there was drinking involved. Us girls drinking, husbands being responsible. And
Girls Gone Wild.
yes, and so it wasn't Halloween wasn't too crazy, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And we went trick or treating, and we all had a blast, and we ate some food, and everybody got home safe.
Mhm.
And then I think her and I, and then we hung out at. We went to the Falcons' mom.
Okay.
The Falcons' mom had a mom's thing to teach us safety about football, the football players and stuff,
Mhm.
and we had a blast there, and I think we had a glass of wine, and that was the whole night, and
Right.
we played football. That's what we did, and it was fun.
Y'all actually play football?
Yes, we did. They
Good.
threw the ball, and we caught it. We played with some of the Falcons players. It was fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what happened the next morning? What time did you guys get up? Or
Tom and I got up about, I want to say it was about 8, somewhere around in there, between 8 and 8:30. I'm not positive because I didn't
Yeah.
look. And we got up. I came downstairs. My sister was going to leave, so we needed to get home with our kids.
Mhm.
And I saw Tam's stuff sitting there, her bag and her phone, and I was so proud that she stayed. And I
Yeah.
figured she was sleeping. Didn't even think to look in the room, and I didn't.
Right.
And I kicked myself for that. For a lot of it, I kicked myself for not going out with her, and I don't know, it just breaks my heart. And then we left and got home, and I got in the shower, and my husband called to answer the phone because Jean called, and
Mhm.
he just looked at me and said, "We gotta go back," and he wouldn't tell me. He said, "Tam's hurt."
Yeah.
And then I came back, and it's been a whole hot mess since. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand how it happened. I don't understand how, I don't get it at all. I don't get how you fall off of a deck. I don't understand. I've looked and been on that deck a million times. I've looked and I've tried and I don't understand.
Mhm.
I don't understand. I thought maybe if she got sick or something and was vomiting, and maybe she was leaning over, and maybe that's how she did it. I seriously don't get it.
Well,
I don't understand any of it.
And I'll tell you, we don't either. I wish somebody had a camera or some
That's
just
what we were hoping
so that we
for.
know. But
How does stuff like this happen? This is just.
just freak things happen. I mean, like you said, if she leaned over and was trying to throw up or thought she was going to throw up, maybe she sat up on the rail and was smoking, or just who knows. I mean,
She wasn't
depending on
acting.
how out of it she was.
She wasn't acting sick. She
Right.
wasn't. You hear her laughing. She was just not acting out of the norm.
Yeah.
And all she would always tell us, "I can handle my alcohol. And I'm like, "Well, you can handle it so much better than me, because
Yeah.
this girl's got to get up in the morning."
right.
And, we had to actually get up. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't
Well,
get
that's
it.
why we're going back and interviewing everybody, just to
Absolutely.
make sure we understand completely. But we may not ever know exactly what happened, but everything points that she went over that rail. How that happened is the confusion.
Mhm.
And I know we had the gas tank because we tried to light the fire pit that night.
Right.
And we couldn't figure it out. And I'm not sure. I don't get it. Because, Jose said maybe she stood on that for some reason, or I think we've just all racked our brains and just trying to figure out how this can happen to our friend. And now it's like all of us are like, yeah, no parties. We're not, no, nope. I guess we're gonna all have to sleep in a pallet if we ever do it. Go hang out again.
She wasn't acting sad or
No.
angry or.
No.
Do you remember her calling her daughter?
Yes, we FaceTimed her daughter.
Mhm.
We FaceTimed Lee.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to them, and I mean, we laughed, and we told the baby, because he wanted to come have a sleepover with all the mommies, and we told him next time we can have one. And even when I talked to Lee the next morning, whenever you had already told him, and I went over there, and Lee told me, he said, I said, she was so happy. He said, I know, I talked to y'all, I remember.
Mhm.
He's like, I spoke to y'all. He's like, I know who she was. And of course the baby comes up, and he's like, sleepover? I'm like,
Yeah.
which breaks my heart. And then I felt awful because I looked at her older boy, and he asked me what happened. And first we thought that she just fell outside.
Right.
And I told him that. And I told him how happy she was, and I felt like, oh Lord, that kid probably thinks I'm the worst person in the world.
You're not, but
I just don't get it. She was so sweet and so fun. She was a lot, but she was fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know a lot of her history. I mean, I know she was fun,
yeah.
and I was getting to know her.
Did you have any knowledge of her doing anything else other than drinking or smoking marijuana? I mean, or any other drugs or?
I had
pills or
no
anything like
idea.
that? Okay.
I do know that Diane asked if she had done any pills or done any coke,
Right.
and I have no idea. She
But
never
you know,
mentioned any
okay.
of that. Nothing like that to me ever. The only thing that I knew that she had done was smoke marijuana. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. And drink tequila.
Now, how was Diane tied into everybody? She's a friend.
Diane is a friend of Tam's,
Okay.
and also was a friend of Jean's.
Okay.
That's how. And I've known Diane for a long time because I used to work for Auto Trader, and her ex-husband owns a transmission shop in Forsyth County, and I was his rep. And so that's how I very first met Diane. But anyway, so the boys played basketball together and stuff, and I met her again through Jean. And then I found out, her and Tam were friends too. It's just a circle. So I don't hang out with Diane very much.
Right.
I only have, like, with Jean. I've never have with Tam. But I don't know her that well, but I did invite her to the party. She was
Okay.
invited to the party. She couldn't get in town in time. So I don't know about those poor babies.
5 boys.
How old's the youngest?
He's 4. He just turned 4. Yeah, she was 8 days younger than me. Yeah, we just had our birthdays.
Can you think of anything else that we have not asked you that we should?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
That's fine.
I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand how this happened at a sleepover. Like, I get how you go to a restaurant and people have drinks, and then if they drive irresponsible, I get how bad things happen like that, but I don't get...
Yeah, or y'all are being responsible.
And that was the goal of the whole
Right,
thing,
right.
was everybody's going to be responsible and have fun and just be girls, and that's what we wanted to do, was be
Yeah.
silly and laugh and dance, and we did. I wish I would have went out there with her and not let her go out there by herself. But I honestly did not know that she was that bad off. I didn't know that I knew she had drank, but I wasn't keeping up
Sure.
with it. And
So she had actually said, you heard her say something about going outside right before you went to bed?
yeah, she told me she was going outside to smoke before she went to bed.
Okay.
And I said, okay, we'll go outside to smoke and go to bed. I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
I'm like this anti-smoker, actually. And so she came up, and I mean, she came up and hugged me and told me she was going to smoke, and it's the last time I saw her.
Sometimes just things happen. There's just no explanation for it. But you can't blame yourself.
It's hard. My son's friends with her boys.
Mhm.
It's so hard. They went to school the other day for half a day, he said. And Peyton did. And then he said, can I use your phone to call my mom? So my son said he had to go to the bathroom because he had to cry and he didn't want to cry in
Yeah.
front of his friends.
Mm.
It's just, you never know what's going to happen. You just got to... And that's so silly about all this. This is an accident, and everybody just needs to be there for each other and be kind.
Right.
And it's like all these rumors going around, and
Mhm.
everybody being so cold, and it's just
Right.
like... I mean, I feel selfish for being with her last night, because, I mean, her husband and kids should have been with her. And it's just awful. It's awful. I've just never, ever... This is something you see on TV. I mean, you don't... Not Forsyth County. I mean, I know y'all see a lot more than I do, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh.
It is just a tremendous mess, and you hit it there, nail on the head, that it's probably a time when everybody needs to be friends and open with each other and whatnot, and just circumstances and people, for whatever their motives,
Yeah.
we can't do that now.
I know, and like I don't know, like her aunt like Facebook friended me, and I accepted her, and then like she's trying to add me to her family, and like I'm scared to add it. Like I
Yeah.
don't know like
Right.
what to do. Like, do I, do you let them in your circle? Do I let them know that I'm grieving? I'm terrified to say anything.
Sure.
We're fixing to have a football party for all the football players, and I'm terrified to say anything to any of them. Like I don't.
I think you're safe just being nice, being polite, being kind,
Yeah.
but
Because they're all, what happened? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's gone from people saying that, it was some crazy rowdy, I mean, no, it wasn't.
Mhm.
It wasn't rowdy at all.
sure.
I mean, we're not a big, huge, rowdy bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's just not, we like to have cocktails and talk and play
Yeah.
games and laugh. And
I know.
I don't understand it.
We don't either, but we're working on that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and end the interview. It's about 10:50.